We're in a world where everything can be tokenized, and that's where Ripple custody comes in. Here's how it works.
Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and custody is the foundation of tokenization. You'll see this in a 1-minute clip that I have. Ripple has integrated Ethereum, XRP, and Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin. There are hundreds of developers working on scaling and tokenization solutions. In this video, we're going to see who is doing 1/3 of all the transaction fee volume on the XRP ledger. Also, is this bull run going to continue? And what token just flipped Stellar and Polkadot? And also, will the Ripple stablecoin get on the green list in New York? Well, we'll have a look at that and more. But first, let's finish the rest of that clip, just under a minute more.
The custody platform acts like a digital vault to safeguard both your and your client's assets. This vault is protected by the highest standard of bank-grade security for digital assets. Digital assets can be managed and accessed through a cryptographically secured infrastructure layer. This acts as a sort of door or single access point, which means you can choose who can do what with those assets. Next, thanks to an API-first model and a unique modular design, bank management systems can easily connect to the platform through a user-friendly interface, allowing for simple user control and integration. This makes things like token management, transferring, accounting, and custody straightforward and easy without compromising security, governance, or compliance. Lastly, the custody platform is plug-and-play and interoperable, unifying interactions with multiple underlying blockchains and their applications, external data sources like AML or other data providers, and to other market players like exchanges, marketplace venues, and regulated custodians. Now is the time to tap into the future of finance.
It was SUI that flipped Polkadot and Stellar. Yes, they're sitting at number 15 by market cap, and they're gunning for Ton, Shiba, Link, and Avalanche. In my opinion, I think it's going to pass all of those this month. Will the bull run continue? Yes, according to Sygnum Bank, a digital asset bank based in Switzerland and Singapore, with a massive undisclosed amount of investment coming from SBI Japan. We only know that it was an 8-figure amount in which they were the lead investor. And the reasons behind their answer, yes, it will continue, well, it's the US regulations. It is the fact that Bitcoin is scarce due to the demand. There is also the US rate cuts, which are ideal for financial markets. And of course, the ETFs. There are still large inflows. This morning, I was in a live space with some very bright minds from the greater XRP ecosystem, those that are building on the root network, which is Futureverse, with that all-important integration into the XRP ledger. Aaron McDonald, the co-founder of Futureverse, was on Paul Barron's channel. And yes, I just keep telling everybody, when you're looking over there, you need to be looking here. They are really going to be so instrumental in the growth of the XRP ecosystem. The real USD, that's the stablecoin, it will be used on the root network. It's going to be integrated. Do you know that that has now 20,000 trust lines? Wow. XRP is the gas on that network, and they had 1/3 of all the burn fees that occurred on the ledger coming from the root network. And Aaron says he wants to increase that tenfold. You're going to find lots of builders under the Futureverse umbrella, But I particularly want you to pay attention to Gittin Labs. I'm going to be talking a lot about them, and they were so lucky to receive funding in the Japan and Korea fund that is backed by Ripple. I love this team, and I love what they're doing. And today, Futureverse started their 12 days of Questmas. This is really for those who love rewards and a little bit of holiday cheer. It is reigning supreme because you can participate and in doing so unlock those rewards. You need to come over to the Root Network. Now we know the RLUSD, the stablecoin by Ripple, was given a green light, but I'm still looking on the website to see if they are added to the green listed coin list. You can see here for the stablecoins, they're not yet there, but it could be just that they're slow in updating their website. The first in-person working group of the new XRPL Foundation convened, where they discussed the core principles of the organization. What a great group of people. And you can see there's Fabio standing right there, just below David Schwartz. You can see Wietze Wind over here. There's David Bichitti, who is the head of XRPL Commons. There is FreePay, there's Panos, lots of really great people. I'm so excited to see this all unfold. I'm really looking forward to having Austin King come on the channel. Here's a quote that I thought was very interesting. He says, in a weird enough way, a lot of Ripple's go-to strategy today is very similar to projects in the Ethereum ecosystem, just a totally different audience. I can't wait to dive into exactly what he means there. This is a guy with a Harvard computer science degree. He was the CEO of Strata Labs, which was acquired by Ripple. He also was a former Ripple software engineer. He is now the co-founder of Omni Network, and I think he's got a big launch coming up. We're going to learn so much. And I hit him with some very interesting questions. Metaplanet, it is the talk of the town in the financial news today in Japan. If you missed my unique interview with the CEO last week, please have a peek. I think you'll enjoy it. I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. And as Metaplanet sees great success in their Bitcoin strategy, do we have some headwinds still here in the United States? You got to listen to this MSNBC clip. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.
And in the new Congress, a Senate Republican, I want you to please pay attention to this. I know you want to tune out, but please don't. They plan to propose a bill that would sell off some of the Federal Reserve's gold to buy Bitcoin. Watch this.
Have we got a present for President Donald Trump? Here it is. This is the Bitcoin Reserve Bill. Over 5 years, the United States will assemble 1 million Bitcoin, 5% of the world's supply. And it will be held for a minimum of 20 years and can be used for one purpose: reduce our debt.
Well, Cynthia Lummis, you can take that bill and sit down with me any night of the week, and I would love to go through every word, every paragraph, every page. But I'd first like to know how much the crypto industry has given you, because for fact's sake, you cannot pay debt down with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin crosses the $100,000 mark, like it did last week, that means it would cost the government at least $100 billion. And former SEC official John Reed was on 60 Minutes last night to sound the alarm about just how dangerous this industry is.
Crypto is a scourge. It's not something that you want in your society. It has no utility. It's just pure speculation. Remember, there's no balance sheet to crypto. There's no financial statements. Every single crime you can conceive of is easier to do now because of crypto, especially ransomware, human sex trafficking, sanctions evasion, money laundering. North Korea is financing their nuclear weapons program using crypto.
Every crime you can think of is exponentially easier because of crypto. Here to discuss, Zeke Fox, investigative reporter for Bloomberg Businessweek and Bloomberg News. He is the author of Number Go Up, Inside Crypto's Wild Rise and Staggering Fall. Dan Nathan's still with us. I don't even want to say this would be the biggest bailout to crypto ever, because they don't need a bailout. They're not in trouble. This would be the biggest bonus boon right there before our eyes, transferring billions of dollars to an industry we know almost nothing about, that's packed with money laundering and bad deeds.
I mean, it's wild. People are mad right now about the health insurance industry's profits. That's $100 billion. That's a couple of years of the entire industry's profits that would be spent buying Bitcoins from people who already have them. And it is a kind of a bailout. I mean, Bitcoin's been around for 15 years. It hasn't delivered on any of its promises. It's as old as Uber, it's old as WhatsApp, but nobody's really using it for anything. Now, they've given Trump a lot of money. They've got him talking about coming in and having the government spend huge money to pump the price up even further. It's really wild.
Well, it has delivered on something. It's a trading vessel for people who have made a ton of money and lost, but who've made.
Well, it's delivered on one important thing. It is a store of value, not too different than gold, right? So it's up 30,000% in the last 10 years. There's very few other assets on the planet who've done that. Maybe NVIDIA, they're the ones that make the high-end GPUs that power generative AI. So when I think about what's going on here, it's a $2 trillion market cap. It's not going away. And if you think about why it's gone up of late, is because of the promise of deregulation, the leaning in. And I'll just say this, if you think MAGA movement is a strong political movement, just wait until you see these Bitcoiners. This is like one of the strongest financial religious movements that I've ever seen as long as I've been in the business for nearly 30 years. So it's here to stay, and maybe some new regulation will kind of help. And the last thing I'll just say, Zeke, when you think about this, I know you did a lot of work on this. Some of the smartest people that I know in finance and in tech believe in this. And they believe in the technology that's underlying it.
Okay,
it
but two things can be true. Okay, that's my point. Two things can be true. Yeah. There could be real value in it. There could be a real business there. But that doesn't mean that there needs to be a government program transferring $100 billion to it.
And when we talk about smart people being into Bitcoin, is it because they think Bitcoin is like the technology that's going to power the future? Or is it because they're smart enough to realize there are a lot of people who are going to get on the train, feel the FOMO, and buy in? I mean, if you were able to predict that, more power to you. But I don't think the government should be in that business.
Well, I mean, there's no different than people investing in stocks or other illiquid assets. There really isn't. I mean, if people believe...
Hold on a minute. Beneath that stock are companies that sell products that you can... Okay, ready? Let's give you the Hawk to a Girl example, okay? Yeah. A drunk girl outside a bar who becomes famous for a lewd comment, more power to her, okay? She then launches a coin, is dishonest publicly about action around that coin, the value sinks, and now all these Bitcoin investors want this money. If that isn't like peak subprime, it makes me think I'm watching. It makes me think
it's unregulated. So that's the point. Why has it just gone from 50,000 to 100,000? All these folks believe that there's going to be a regulatory framework put in place that will really be the sort of thing that will let that sort of innovation come out. I mean, I don't own it. I'm not making like the strongest case for it right now, but I understand why people own it and where they think it's going.